Okay, welcome back to another episode of the Day After Podcast.
What is up, everyone? It is I, Ryan Wayne, and today we will be doing our fantasy picks for Survivor 40 several, or 47 for you Neanderthals out there.
Yeah, the non-Jelinski believers.
Listen, I just love Jelen. It's like, here we are talking about 46. Zelensky is like, he's so bad, you just love it.
Yeah,
He's very memeable, and I think that's what I enjoy. It's just like he has so many
yeah,
great one-liners. He's only in one episode.
yeah. I
And
almost
he's
want him to
such a
be
great
on. I want him to be on season 50 as the first boot again, just because I think it'll be really funny to see him just mess up again.
who knows? He becomes unstoppable and this game ends up winning.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? But we're not talking about Survivor 46. We're not talking about Survivor 50. We're talking about Survivor 47.
We're
uh,
gonna This is gonna be out throughout the entire season.
yeah.
So brace yourself, guys
Yeah,
and
that is
gals.
that is well, that's going to be a lot of our conversation through this is that
Yeah.
but I think we should just hop right into it. Now, Ryan,
Yeah.
I won last time. I picked Kenzie.
You always fucking win.
No,
For
we
me,
we trade off.
no, 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 no,
We
no, no,
trade off.
no, Joe. I've only been really right once. And then in the new era, I got 41 right. I was like, okay, I got someone that I chose. And 43, I didn't even choose Gabler. I was just handed Gabler. But I have been fucking terrible, terrible at choosing people. In the past two seasons, I have gotten the 13th place for whoever I chose as the winner pick. In 44, I had no one in the finale, and that is saying levels because you started off with Bruce, who was automatically gone. We knew that was going to happen. So I had one person over you, and I still fucked it up.
I think this is your season.
I hope so, but hope just cruel to me. It
Yeah.
just like, hey, here's something good that might happen, and it doesn't. And then the universe has a laugh. Joe, you have a good laugh. Anyway, trauma dumping aside,
Yeah.
here we are.
I
So,
was
and that is
I've
short for Joe gets to choose first.
Yeah, I've definitely done not a lot of research on it. So, this is your season, Ryan. This is your time to really take the game into your hands. Because my first pick, I love his occupation. His occupation immediately made me say I'm picking this guy. And my first pick, my winner pick, is Rome Cooney. Rome Cooney. Um, Yeah, I mean, I think yeah, I know that was your first pick too, wasn't it?
You can't see it, but
I
yes,
can't.
it was my
Yeah,
first fucking pick.
yeah. I thought so. I liked him from pretty much the jump. And I feel like he's going to be a very social player. I think he's going to be pretty good in the challenges too. And as a gamer, I'm assuming he also is going to have a pretty decent strategic mind. I do fear that he might become too big of a threat in the mid game, but we'll see how he
Yeah.
progresses through that.
I do think, and I do have like tribe divisions and stuff. I'm also looking at what is it called? The Entertainment Weekly on I should have it on my phone and not my laptop. I'm so ill prepared, guys. But he's on the red team. Honestly, I vibe most with the red team. I think the red
Mhm.
tribe has a lot of great people on it. Um, Hold on. Let me pull up the EW thing. But when I saw him, I was like, all right, this dude, I just want to see succeed. He's a big nerd like me.
Mhm.
He talks a lot. That's what he does. I really liked his vibes going into it. And That's why it was, like, tied between, like, 6 different people. Honorary mention for a 7th. But, like, Rome was, like, the one I was like, "Man, I hope this dude, wins this,"
Mhm.
because he seems so cool.
Yeah, well, I hope he wins it too because I just picked him first. It's been a while since a first pick of ours has gone on to win. So, maybe this is the time.
Yeah, we'll see. Hold on, so I'm trying to pull it up on my phone. You would think that it would pull up Entertainment Weekly. That's the one with all the stuff, but okay. Let me scroll down to them. Well, it's not even the right one. They put up, like, 5 different articles and it's like, "Yo,
Mhm,
alright, there we go. Here we are." But yeah, Jack's trying to look up the stuff about it. So he is from, or he's currently in Arizona. Um, I think he's someone where he is going to, I think he's a jack of all trades in a lot of regards. I think he's someone where, he's able to have that social game. He's able to have that, like, game and strategy thing, and then also, like, he seems fit, so, like, I think in the challenges, he's gonna do pretty well as well.
um, yeah, yeah. I struggle seeing him going out of this tribe in the first two votes either too. So like, if this tribe goes more than that, maybe he
Yeah.
could have some trouble. Like depending on how things shake up. But like, I struggle to see him going out super early.
Yeah. Um, no, I feel like honestly, I don't wanna see the red team go too often. I
Mhm,
think and we'll get to it. There's one team where I think I'm okay if they go if I, like I have my, rating down. It's kinda like a prediction, but also kinda like, it's kinda like I'd say it's more so a prediction, but also, like, near the top of the people I wanna win.
mhm.
But there is one tribe where it's definitely significantly lower than the others, but
Yeah,
we'll
is
get
it?
to them.
Yeah, I mean, I think I already know. There's one tribe that I think is not as going to be as entertaining, but you know.
The yellow tribe?
Oh, really? I think the blue tribe.
I think the yellow tribe is gonna tank.
I think. Oh, okay, maybe like in terms of gameplay, but like I want to see the yellow tribe do well. There's
We'll get to some of
yeah,
those people,
yeah.
but no, yeah, Rome I think is an excellent choice. Obviously he was gonna be my first choice, but no, like Joe, you just have to love video games and stuff like that too.
I know, I know.
Um, can't even homie drop me getting the first pick either.
Nope, nope. I come to play. I like to win.
I like to win too. It's an unrequited like.
Yeah.
Anyway, trauma dumping aside. So, all right. The thing is, with him gone, and I'm still debating between my top several, but because like I feel like 2 and 3 might be, I don't want to say wild card picks. Here's the thing, I'm gonna be wrong no matter what.
Mhm,
So I might as well. That was gonna be my logic for choosing Rome too. Um, so I think that I'm probably this person is number this person. All right, this person is number 5 on my list, but I honestly think that they have the best shot at making it. I feel like they're guaranteed merge because at least
mhm,
that's what I want my winner pick to do is make
mhm.
the merge, and I'm going to choose Genevieve Mashaluk
Okay,
um as that person.
good pick.
I
She
just
was she was my number four.
Yeah. She is number 5, and I hopefully will now that I have her locked, I'll choose everyone else. But, so a little bit about Genevieve. So she is Canadian, so that's already going to, give her stuff. She did
Mhm,
say that she is a bad liar, but she's also a lawyer. I feel like this she did say bad liar, which makes me this is why she was at 5, but I'm also like, I feel like she's bringing a lot of entertainment value. She just breathes like she's a strong competitor. Also, I think that the fact that her and Rome are both like gamers that can do. I feel like with the tribe chemistry and stuff, I feel like she is definitely gonna do well in her tribe, and I think
Mhm.
especially when we get to the merge, I can see her going I can see her make a deep run, maybe like 6 or 7 when they have like when they're like, okay, who's really playing this game well? They're gonna all realize, ah, Jen. But I feel like if she's able to avoid that or be in a really, really good spot, she could end up winning this game.
Yeah. I feel like once the merge happens, no one's gonna be looking at taking her out. I feel like there's just going to be bigger threats. And yeah, I could definitely see her, especially like I think she kind of hits all the criteria of like a modern day women who wins the game. Like I think she's sociable and she's not going to be making the big move until later on. She's going to kind of play in the background, play that honest game and then maybe have that one big killer instinct move later on that maybe sets her up for the win. That at least that's my read of what could happen with her. Uh,
Yeah. I'm sorry
who?
if I'm looking down my phone. I'm just trying to get to her page as well.
Yeah. No, you're all good.
I'm sorry, Genevieve. I may have cursed you, because it can go back in time as I have let certain contestants know that I have jinxed them by choosing them as my winner pick. But I feel like she's someone where um trying to look at more at different stuff. And also like she is someone where she doesn't go for the straight up like, "Oh, I wanna play like Kelly Wentworth." She's like, "No, I wanna be like Eliza. I wanna be like Chrissy. I wanna be like Lindsay." And Lindsay Delashwish was one of my favorite contestants from 42. I think she's up there for me in the new era. I feel like she would be higher up on my list if, she had more screen time, but yeah, so she is someone where I think she's also obviously a big fan, and I think she's someone where if she can harness the Eliza, Chrissy, and Lindsay, they're not all winner. They're not none of them are winners. One came super close, but I feel
Mhm.
like if she can have that mindset, she is someone and just looking at the tribe that can have that win.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I think that's a good pick. So far we're pretty much on the same page about these players, a little bit.
They may deter because now that I have my first kick, my locked one, I might choose 1 or 2 that may shock you.
Oh, that's what I'm about to do. I'm about to pick someone purely because I think they're fun.
Alright.
Yeah, I'm picking, and boy, this screwed me when I picked it with Brandon Donlin and seconds, and he ends up being taken out super early. But I'm picking someone who very much might be the Brandon Donlin of this season. I'm picking Jonna Lovett, the podcaster. Um, you know, I just feel like this is my type if I was ever to be on Survivor. So I gotta represent, kind of the, a little more of a goofy kind of character, the oddball, quirky guy, who is actually like pretty good at the game, is pretty strategic. Like I think he's gonna be good at that part, but um definitely the survival element is gonna be what's gonna be tough because sometimes when you are that goofy person, you don't get through the first like week of the game because you're just looked at as a liability. Even like
Yeah.
David Wright was almost taken out super early in Millennials versus Gen X because he didn't know how to do like anything, and using a machete, like scared him.
I
So
don't think I don't think I'd get that from him. I
no,
mean,
no,
like,
it's not
John
gonna
looks like a
be.
yeah.
It's not gonna be that
Um,
extreme, but definitely, I think he is on probably the weaker tribe, but I could also see Andy and Sam of his tribe could doing a lot more of that kind of the heavy kind of work like that. So
yeah.
I can definitely see him kind of getting in with the social side if he can, especially make some jokes early on. It's always hard because like a lot of they have put him in the promotional videos a lot, but also that's because he is a podcaster. They've done that with
He's
Brandon, like
he's also super, super famous. Like,
yeah.
I think that's another thing too, and I think that's why I put him low on my list
Mhm.
was because I feel like the fame could potentially catch up with him.
Mhm.
Um,
I mean, I would say
I
he isn't as famous as as you could potentially be. I could see a lot of people not knowing who he is.
True. I think there's one person, and I did watch the Survivor Specialist,
Mhm,
and they said there could be a potential connection there. I think he's going to definitely be a fun character. I just think it might be tricky for him. He could also be
mhm,
someone where his we do have like a bunch of people with high energy. I feel like when I see this guy, sometimes he might come on as much, which
mhm.
you need in podcasting. You need like a voice that people can do. But like, I don't know. Uh I can see him being targeted pretty early. I think if he makes it far, I don't know. I see him at most going to top 6. So he's gonna
Yeah,
win now by
yeah.
me saying that.
No,
But like,
that's what I would say too. I think he's top 6, but I just think he's gonna be a lot of fun. I wanna make sure I'm rooting for him. So if this is the person who I take that, goes out early, so be it. But
I
I wanna
mean,
root for him.
obviously some of our people are gonna go out early.
Yeah.
No, he was number 18 on my list.
So he was last.
I just don't see the thing is, I feel like Yellow Tribe is going to get decimated. It does, and this is something that the specialist kind of pointed out, and I kind of agree. I feel like it's a schoolyard pick this time around. I think that's like the popular theory that's going around right now. It's not
Mhm,
like assigned tribes. That's why the tribes don't even have names right now, and where they're all wearing like yellow, blue, green, or
mhm,
yellow, blue, and red. Sorry. Uh, so I feel like, but I still feel like if I'm looking at the tribes, I think Blue Tribe might not even touch tribal council. I think the Red Tribe could potentially, I feel like Yellow might be the one that might go a lot.
mhm.
No fault to any of them. I just feel like if I'm looking at the different casts, I feel like Red and Blue, but I would say more so Blue, has a more stronger unit as a whole.
What what I'll say is I think Blue Tribe's gonna be great in the physical challenges, so I think they're gonna win, especially those first 2 challenges of Survivor is usually more of that physical. I actually think Yellow is gonna have a lot of people who are gonna be good at, like, the puzzles. I do think
Yeah.
that for that specific part of it, I could see them being always, like, the last team to win or, like, get to the puzzle, but I could see them being the fastest at doing the puzzle.
I don't know. I think the blue team has a lot of smart cookies, and we'll get to them in a sec.
Mhm,
But yeah, I don't honestly. It's not like I think that John is not like Jelensky, where I'm like, this dude's gonna go home or anything. I feel
yeah.
like there's no one here.
Oh, did you cut out? Ryan? We've lost Ryan, everyone. Ryan's Ryan's gone AWOL. And of course, it's also going to show you one of the most unflattering images of Ryan here. I mean, it could be worse, I guess. Um, but definitely, now he's lost his camera
All right, I'm back.
and he's back. Okay. What were you saying?
All right, I was saying, we're talking like we'll get to the blue team in this. It just looks like yellow team there's no one in this cast that I'm like there's no obvious first boot for me. There are some
Mhm,
people where I'm like they might not do well, but and there are some people when we get lower to the list that I'm like, okay, I think they might actually not be first boot because A, B, and C. Because there are some people where I'm like, they probably won't do well, but I don't think anyone is specifically a first boot. I don't
mhm,
know, something about John where I think especially because and it might be because of the Brandon thing subconsciously where I'm like, I don't know. I feel like they're building him up pretty much,
mhm.
but it could be a ruse and he just gets eliminated early.
Yeah,
We'll see.
it's very possible. But boy, would it be fun if we get John Lovitz through to like final six.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not saying it's a bad choice whatsoever.
Well, I mean, you think it's a little. You can say it. You put him as your worst pick.
I don't but that's because like and we're gonna talk about everyone else. I just feel like he's someone that might rub his tribe the wrong way at the beginning. I feel like when I was looking at the yellow tribe, if I were to choose someone, I feel like he might be the odd man out.
Yeah.
But
I
that's just my opinion.
I see Andy and Sam broing it out, and I honestly could see John going with the women of the tribe. I really could see, uh, which could potentially be bad because that could just send them to tribal a bunch if you take out Andy and Sam at the beginning.
We'll see.
Yeah, who
We'll
knows?
see. All right, next up, I'm going with our first blue contestant. Um, sh- this person would have potentially been my winner pick. They are number two on my list, but I'm only just slightly reluctant for making them my number one. I feel like if I had no fucks given, I probably would have just went with her. I'm going with Sue Smay as my
Ah,
second pick.
I wanted her to be honest.
The thing is, I think she's a boss ass bitch. I think she's
Uh-huh.
going to do very well, especially because I think this tribe has so many strong people. I feel like
Mhm.
she could potentially win this game. Like I saw her stuff, read her bio and everything, and I'm like, I'm definitely rooting for this woman. I hope she does extremely well.
Yeah.
Um,
If I recall
so
correctly, she's also like totally down to play a villainous game. Like
yeah,
she's not here to play, she does not want to just be the mom figure who everyone
no, and
likes
I
like
never got mom figure from her,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
she is someone that could be incognito and like some people might make that assumption about her, especially in the beginning.
Mhm.
But I feel like
Yeah.
once she gets going, you know,
Sh-
that is going to, and I mean, like she's someone where she wants to play like Tony and Suri. Tony is
Yeah.
a bit more flashy, and I feel like Suri obviously not as flashy. But if she
Yeah.
can combine those two strategies, I feel like she's someone that could definitely win this game.
Yeah.
Um, I think especially because like if they're looking for bigger targets, they're gonna look for weaker targets. I think she's right in that sweet spot where I don't think she's in either direction of like, oh, the obvious strong person or the obvious weak person. So I think that's going to get her far. So yeah, and I love how when we're looking at her thing, you just tell it just oozes personality.
Yeah.
So I think yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I chose Sue.
Yeah, she gives me strong, and she went out early in Deal or No Deal Island, but Kim from Deal or No Deal Island, like I feel like
Yeah.
she's going to have some of that energy, which you know, I don't.
I think it's gonna be cranked up though. I think it's
y-
gonna be cranked up to 11.
Yeah, and that's why she is lower on my list. Like I did want her, but I actually figured that she would be low on your list, so I was like, I'll put her low because I was like, I do think that there's the potential that she goes villainous pre-merge, like goes full villain
Yeah.
pre-merge, and the tribe notices and she hits the merge and gets her, name thrown out as thrown under the bus.
Yeah.
Like there's definitely
That
that potential.
there is that potential, and that's why one, I didn't choose her as my number one pick,
Mhm,
and two, why I kind of went a couple down and was like, all right, I'm gonna choose a little safe
mhm,
and say Genevieve. Because if you choose two people in a row that don't make it to jury, it's not a great feeling. I've just been for the
mhm.
past 3 seasons, it's not been great.
Yeah. I mean,
So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be a bit smarter and not use my heart or past experiences
it's all
that
good.
I got completely wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're starting this draft off pretty strong. You know, um,
Okay,
I I
thank
I
you.
I enjoy it. It's Joe approved so far.
And we all know I love approval. Joe approval is like lower on this, like approval is here, Joe approval is right there, but I'll take it. I'll take it.
Yeah, you can get what he wants. You usually lose, so may as well.
I know.
Okay, well, good pick there. Wish I had her on my team, but yeah, I think she's gonna be. I think she's at least gonna be entertaining. Regardless of
Agreed.
how she does, I think she's going to bring entertainment.
Agreed.
So we kind of went in the same ballpark there of our second picks, where they have flaws, but we also agree that they're going to be entertaining while they're out there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, well,
Right now, we are seeing similarities between our first picks and our second, like because
mhm,
Genevieve and Rome both have the gaming aspect.
mhm,
But yeah, so
yeah,
we got it.
yeah,
We'll see if the
exactly.
trend continues.
Yeah, we'll see because I'm keeping the podcast train a rolling, and I'm picking Aisha Welch, who, if anyone is a fan of Rob Has a Podcast, you probably know who she is. She does a lot of content over there. Um, I think she's going to probably come in with people already wanting to work with her. I
Yeah,
think she's just going to be one of those names where everyone's going to want to work with her in the early stages and probably even the mid stages. I could see her having some trouble maybe getting to the end. I could see them her being a little too likable, maybe becoming a threat in the end game. But I think that she is just going to be a someone who can keep easily cruise to the merge and probably get in with most groups pretty easily.
yeah. I haven't really listened to Rob Has a Podcast. I know that. Uh, this
Sacrilege.
this might sound sacrilege too, but I really don't listen to too many podcasts. I'd say, uh, and it's mostly because I'm a busy guy, and like when I'm doing something, I like giving it my full attention. And
Mhm,
podcasts, you know, I think it lends it to like you're doing other stuff with it. But I'm someone where I'm like, oh no, I'm doing this and I'm focusing on this. Or if I'm like passively watching, I'm a mess when it comes to that stuff. But no, I feel like that and I had Asia at number 6. She came off like on paper, not even with the whole Rob Has a Podcast thing. She just came off as like a strong competitor.
mhm,
She seems pretty well rounded as well. And the fact that she does have all this Survivor thing, and when you talk about Survivor a lot, I know you and I are not prime examples of this, just based on our org experiences, but you tend to do a little bit better because you know the game and you have a big understanding of everything. So yeah, I'm trying to get through her bio, but also talk. So that is always a tough challenge for me.
mhm.
Um, let's see if there's anything on there.
Yeah.
I'm
I mean,
scrolling down.
yeah, I mean, she's a IT consultant. That's her job. She's going in with it. I do wonder. I assume that a lot of people are going to recognize her. I don't think she's going to be able to hide that fact
Yeah,
because it's on Survivor. If I bet you at least 70% of the people who go on Survivor watch Rob Has a Podcast.
or
So
they're big enough fans where they're aware of like stuff like that.
yeah, exactly. So I'm definitely curious to see, I bet it's going to be an episode one conversation that we get is people talking about her being on Rob Has a Podcast. That would be my
Mhm.
guess. Um, I
Yeah,
also know Rob has been potentially reached out to for season 50. So if that is
be
happening,
interesting.
then I could definitely see them wanting to kind of promote Rob in this season with her.
That I think that's another thing too, and we even thought about this for like when we did a brand seal fan versus favorites, where
Uh,
we use like podcasters and stuff like that. I feel like, I mean, look at us. We're big fans of Survivor. We talk about it.
mhm,
Jake does as well. Like, it is something where it is a different level of fandom. Like, not everyone is like, it doesn't occur to them to do a podcast, or some people's like, oh, I don't have the voice. But like, we talk about it a lot. We think
yeah.
about it a lot. We analyze everything. So I think she's gonna go out there. I don't think it's gonna be as much of a detriment to her as it might with
Mhm,
some other contestants. Because I know like we live in the day and age of like who's signing up for Survivor. It's mostly like big fans of the show and like
mhm,
they might have like outreaches here and there, but it's usually fans of the show. Or they've gotten
yeah.
into it. Like there are obviously some fans that are bigger that look into all that stuff. Like I consider myself a pretty big fan, but I have never really watched Rob Has a Podcast.
Mhm,
So I don't think it's gonna be too much. I think, like, maybe the first vote, if they're, like, panicking on, like, who to get rid of, she might
yeah.
be targeted,
Yeah, I think
but
her
I
problem. Her problem is if only one person on her tribe knows that she's on Rob Has a Podcast and tells other people that she just talks about Survivor all the time, because that would then put her as the
Yeah.
strategic force. But honestly, like I think the more people who know her, I think actually is going to be a benefit to her in this game.
Yeah. She's on the tribe. I think it's a very solid tribe. But yeah, she's also from Texas, so she has that Texas toughness. So I
Mhm.
think she's gonna do pretty well in this game.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So yeah, that's my third pick here. Let's see what you're going to pick as the counter it.
All right, so let me scroll up to their stuff. All right, so this is my number three pick, but also number three on my list. This person, reading their bio and everything, I'm like, I think they can do pretty well. Um, Let me get up to them. And also, I think their name is pretty cool. Um, so I'm gonna choose Teeny Chirichila. I'm just Teeny. I'm sorry. I know I should pronounce things better, but yeah. Um, they are gender fluid, which I think we haven't had a gender fluid contestant before. We've had like Evie came out as non-binary after filming.
Yeah.
Um, and we've had like obviously a bunch of um LGBT contestants before, but she is the first one to be gender fluid because pronouns are she, they, him. So, I think that's like going out there making history that way. I think they're going to be a big voice of the season as well. They're also a big super fan of Survivor. Um, Apparently, wearing a buff each day throughout high school
Mhm.
was a big part of it. Like Survivor is a big part of their life. So I think I think they can also do pretty well too. I feel like they're going to have a lot of social aspects to their game. And yeah, I can see her go pretty far.
Yeah, they're also part of the org community, Ryan. I don't
They
know if
are,
you're
which is another
yeah.
big thing too, where us being a part of the thing, like whenever they say, "Oh, orgs," I'm like, I'm automatically like, you're in my
Mhm.
corner.
Yeah. I had that's what bumped them a little higher on my list, but I do fear that I could see them going out pre-merge. I definitely can see them kind of almost like how Lydia, I can almost see them kind of going in the path of Lydia. Just kind
Yeah,
of a really fun person that we're seeing, but kind of just hitting that point where it's just like, well, it just kind of has to be you at this point.
yeah. I feel like obviously name is teeny.
Yeah.
If they, like, and if the tribe is looking at everything, and they're looking for like strength, or like just straight up just strength off the bat, and if it ever comes to that, I don't think in unless you're on like the losing tribe that's just getting decimated. That's not always a big factor in the beginning,
Mhm.
but like the more you start to lose, the more it becomes more likely that you might get eliminated as a result. I think if the red tribe starts losing a lot, I don't think she's going to be the first vote. I think if it goes to three or fourth time in tribal, then that's when they're probably going to get targeted.
Uh,
Maybe I would say third. But it also depends on how well they do with the challenges. But the fact that, she's been a part of the org community this whole time, it lends her to do a little better because she has that experience. I mean, we've run into so many people that haven't even heard of orgs that are big Survivor fans, or
yeah.
Survivor contestants that don't even know who they are, and we're talking about them when we meet them, or in um, fans versus favorite stuff. They have no idea stuff like this actually existed.
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah. I mean, we're gonna have to see. It might also give a chip on their shoulder where they think they can, do more, or they think that they have to play a certain way, when that ends up just not working out. So it's hard to say. If I had to say, I think they're gonna potentially be one of the first two taken out on this tribe. Probably
No,
seconds. Yeah,
no,
yeah, yeah. I'm being real.
no. I'm like, nah, teeny. Like I was even like I said, it's this top six, and Asia was a part of it, where I'm like, I could see any of these six wins. I can definitely see Teeny win.
Yeah, yeah. Where did you have Aisha also in your lists?
Number six.
Number six. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, I had Teeny. I did put them at 8, but if they were part of the LRG, I'd probably put them as like 16 or 15.
I'm like,
Uh,
no, Teeny's making
yeah.
it.
Okay. Okay. Moving on. This is tough because there's someone who I thought you were gonna pick actually. But you haven't picked them yet. Do I
They
pick?
could be next.
I feel like they're probably next. So it's like the
No,
okay. I'm gonna give you one more round, and if you don't pick them by that time, I'm taking it. So I'm gonna pick instead for this one. I'm going with my first blue person. I'm going with TK Foster, the athlete.
no, no, that was the person I thought you were gonna choose.
No, what? No.
Yes, they were number four on my list.
Oh my god. I thought they were gonna be low on your list, to be honest.
No,
I straight up
I love TK.
yeah.
Like, I
TK, I'm rooting for TK. TK TK is gonna be a lot of fun. And I
God
just
damn it.
I love athletes. Like you know this. Whenever someone has some kind of athletic kind of like profession, I like it. So I say, hey, this is someone who he's not going to get targeted early. He's going to probably carry his tribe. I mean, he's on a strong tribe already in terms of the physical side. So maybe they can afford to cut someone strong, but like I just feel he's going to provide so much to this tribe that he just literally can't get taken out early.
No, I agree. I feel like I also love like the amount of like positivity reading their bio, as well as like when he was like saying like, because of, the kidney stuff that he went through and like almost died through it, but then he still found a career path within what he wanted and, is getting to be, gets to interact with the NFL all the time and stuff
Mhm.
like that. Like the dude is so inspiring. He's also a big guy as well. I think he has a lot of riz. I think the one thing that might stop him, I feel like, especially when he gets to the merge, especially when we get to the late. Right now, he's at number four for me, so he's in that fallen angel spot. I can definitely
Mhm.
see him kind of be taken around sixth through, or I would say several place through fourth place, because it's
Mhm.
like, all right, that's when they're looking at jury threats, and I feel like if he gets to the end, I think he has a pretty strong chance of winning this game.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say I don't think he's going to win the game. I definitely think he's going to, yeah, just be a that mid merge target who he loses a challenge and goes out. Like I can see him winning honestly the first like 2 or 3 immunities of the season, individual immunities, and then losing one and getting taken out. I definitely can see him running down that path. But I need at least one like really, really super secure safe pick here. And I just feel like TK is the safest pick on the board.
I don't know who you're thinking for the other one, and obviously I'm not gonna ask. But I was like in my head, it's like, there's no way they mean TK. There's no way he actually means TK. I thought you were gonna shoot. No,
Yeah.
dang. Um, but oh well. I am interested to see who you think I'm gonna choose.
Yeah.
This person may not be that. But no, I think TK. I'm very excited. Like as soon as I read his bio and when I was hearing the specialists like talk about him, like because what I usually do is I like write down and I'm like high, very high, mid, um, low mid, stuff like that.
Mhm.
And like as soon as I did that, and I usually have like little cards of their names and I kind of like put them on my thing and I like move them around because that's just how my brain works. I'm a
Uh-huh.
visual guy. He was high up there. I
Yeah.
think because he was introduced before Sue, I think he was number one on my list at some point.
Uh-huh.
But yeah,
Yeah, well, this is boding very bad for me because I'm getting people that you wanted on your tribes on your team. So there's a chance I am grabbing the bombs and just bringing them over to my team.
So far, well, I mean, you've got John,
Yeah.
which is the one person. So right now, everyone from my top six has been Clay, and John is just this. I don't think he's a bad guy whatsoever. It's just you chose him, and so like it's like my top six completely gone, and then one guy that's on the absolute bottom. But
Yeah.
let me scroll over to this person's bio. Shit, man. But I'm glad like there's no I like how neither of us have been like you are stupid for choosing this person. I feel like this is our more constructive uh
Yeah.
drafts
There's
where
there's
it's
been a
like we're
few where it is like, what are you doing? Like, have you looked at this person? Have you seen any of
mm,
that stuff? But yeah, no,
all right,
it
so
has been very, very even.
okay, so this person is at my several spot. This person I saw and like I'm like, okay, I definitely see potential with them, but I can also see them in some realms get targeted early, but I don't think that is going to be the case. I am choosing, drum roll please, Tiana Halams.
Okay.
I looked at their bio. They are from Hawaii, so they're all about the island life. They seem very, very hyped. Like she really wants to be on the show. That she is a super fan. Also, she is a flight attendant. Flight attendants tend to do well in Survivor. Ricard, obviously being like the most recent one, and Todd Herzog probably being the most famous one. It takes a lot of like having to deal with people to do a customer service job like that. And I'd say that a lot of people on here, maybe they have done customer service, things like that, but flight attendant is one of those things where it's one of the ones that has a lot of good perks, but I feel like yeah, I'm looking at the cast and she has to interact with the more common folk, and sometimes the common folk can be much.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Yeah. I had her as my number 11 spots. So she was definitely down a little bit more. Um, I I can definitely see her being a bit of a purple edit. Like I can see her kind of maybe making the merge, but being like that first or second kind of boot around there. Just not really sinking her teeth into the game as much as she might want. So um yeah, I think she's like a middle of the road for me.
that's fair. I mean, even
Yeah.
placement wise, I don't know. I feel like she's someone where you're right. I feel like I want to say Purple Edit. They've been better about. I say better. They haven't been perfect about Purple Edits.
Mhm.
But I think also we're still doing an hour 30 minutes for this, right?
For for
For
the premiere or for every
just in
episode.
general. Yeah.
um I believe so. I believe that they worked so well last season that they kept it.
Yeah, I think it's something where they're better at giving some people some screen time. I feel like she is someone that could definitely fly under the radar. Not
Mhm.
necessarily in a purple edit way, as in like she's not someone that is going to be like the obvious threat. I definitely can see her, even take up a leadership thing, but my, but I can also see her. I feel like she can go many different routes. Um, but I think I like her vibe. I think that she can definitely make a deep run. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think she's also on the Blue Tribe.
Mhm. Yes.
And yeah, and I don't think I can see the Blue Tribe never touching Tribal Council in the beginning.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think that's also going to be a testament to her
Th-
game.
There's also someone on the blue tribe that I think is more likely to be a first boot simply because they didn't get information reveal for so long. So I'm just assuming that they're, yeah, Roxroy made it merge, but like I'm just going to assume that, that there's going to be someone else that's more likely to get taken first.
Yeah, I think we're talking about the same person, but we'll get to them when we get to them.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. Okay. Well, good pick, good pick. Okay, well, you didn't pick her, so I'm gonna pick her. Now, I mean, she is on the Yellow Tribe, so maybe you weren't doing that, but I just figured that you're gonna pick this person because of their name. I'm picking Annika Darman, or also known as just Annika Dar.
Yes, I was thinking that would have been even great for my winner pick.
Yeah.
Um, but I'll let you talk about Annika for a bit.
Yeah, I do think she's going to potentially have trouble early. Like, I could see them being like, "Oh, she is this small girl, maybe isn't good at challenges." So there's obviously that fear with this tribe, especially if they go to those first couple of tribals that she gets taken out. But if she does manage to make it to the merge, I can easily see her, not getting taken out for a while, almost become like a Courtney of the season, kind of
Yeah,
low threat level, but kind of in all the talks, and suddenly she's at the end and potentially making her case for why she should win.
yeah. I'll be honest, she is lower on my list.
Mhm.
And the thing is, I also didn't want to be the rose-tinted glasses because of the whole Dar thing too. So maybe I
Yeah.
swung too hard in the opposite direction. But I think, yeah, I think it's one of those things where I think if she has a right enough group, she can make a deeper run. I think the thing is, I feel like there's a lot of big personalities out here that might overshadow her. Because I feel like, I don't know, there was like something where other people popped out a little bit more, but I do think she definitely has a lot of potential. I feel like, and it wasn't even a thing like I just started with her this. It was also some, um, yeah, I think she is smart, but I do think that she's going to be perceived as smart from the beginning.
Mhm.
And so I think that's where her faults are going to lie.
Yeah. There's
Um,
a chance she's J Maya of the season. There's a chance because J Maya was received pretty much as a smart pretty early on, never got a good footing, and then gets taken out before the jury phase. So who knows? I mean, I know I figured you'd pick her because of that. I mean, maybe you saw J Maya comparisons. I don't know. Um, I could be saying this
she
to
goes
anyone.
by Janani now.
Yeah.
I didn't want to make her one of my first few picks because I know you would make that comparison.
Uh, okay, well, I think she has
I,
potential, but
I think she does.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I also recognize that she is likely a third or fourth boot in my opinion. Like, she has that potential, but if she can just survive it, I think she can make it far.
I think she's someone where, yeah, I think if the Yellow Tribe doesn't go as often, I think she's going to be perceived as smart.
Mhm.
And like a strategic threat from the beginning.
Yeah,
Also in this thing of like marketing and stuff like that, I think one of the great things is she'll be able to like promote herself and know how to like put herself out there.
yeah,
But I've also been a little hella long about that for. I want her to do well, not just because of the last name Dar, but also
mhm,
she's out here in LA. So like that also, part of me wants to cheer her on as that result. But
yeah,
I don't know. It's just something where I can see this team turning on her too. Because like
uh,
one thing when it comes to that we have to always take into account, because there are some great players out there, but tribe chemistry
mhm,
is so important in the early game that it could make or break a contestant's just like entire career on Survivor, the actual show. So I don't know. I feel like tribe chemistry, she definitely could have an in, but I'm a little nervous to say like she's gonna do super, super well. I would like for her to make the merge. Don't get me wrong, but
mhm,
I don't know. I think she's gonna be perceived as a threat or a well-rounded person early on.
mhm. Yeah. Yeah, I also think the Yellow Tribe. I mean, I think I really do think this is the smartest tribe between the three of them. You know, we got an AI research assistant, we got Anna Kadar as a marketing manager, John Lovett's clearly very intelligent. I think Rachel as a graphic designer, she seems smart. We got a nurse. Like I
Yeah,
feel like this definitely has the makes of like if you're intelligent, like a lot of intelligent players like to work with other intelligent players. So it's very likely that she might kind of get brought in if she is showcasing it.
that is true. That is true. I mean, I'm rooting for her. I
Yeah.
am definitely rooting for her. All right. Next up on my list. So far, I've chosen four ladies. But it's time to change that up a little bit. I'm going from the blue. Is it? No, it is actually from the yellow tribe. I'm going with Sam Phelan.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know. There's something I feel like he's going to do well. He's also the
Mhm.
youngest
Yeah.
on the cast. I feel like he's someone where he is going to kind of like let me look at my notes and see what exactly I put. Uh because he's a sports reporter and everything, I feel like he is going to be able to know how to like talk to certain people. Also, with reporting and stuff like that, be able to kind of like ask certain questions he wants in order to get that information out. I think people are going to underestimate him, think he's just like a meathead or just like a, dumb, ambitious, like teenager, or not teenager, but like young
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
But I feel like he's a lot smarter than that. And if he really hones in on his skills, he's going to do pretty well. Granted, I have him at number 8 on my spot. So, like, I do see him, like, when it comes to that merge, probably getting targeted mostly because, like, at that point, I think he's going to be perceived as a well-rounded player. But
Uh,
yeah,
yeah. Yeah. My shock's not necessarily that I think he's going to go out early, but yeah, I definitely don't see him making it to the end game of the season. I he was here. Let me get up my thing again. He was my number 16th. Like I would have picked him pretty late. I just nothing really stood out to me as like phenomenal. Like I think he's going to be good in the challenges, like in the physical portion of it. Um, and I think he's going to probably have a pretty almost old school form of gameplay. Actually, I think he's going to be like he's going to find his couple people who he wants to just work with, and I think he's just going to be trying to work with them. I don't know. I don't see him being as fluid as maybe some of the other people on his tribe.
maybe. I feel like if the tribe, because it is labeled as the smart tribe,
Mhm,
I feel like if they're just going based off Loki and they don't get to really know him, I could see
mhm,
him be trouble early. But I think one of his saving graces is, especially because like if you mention sports and stuff like that, and if we're looking around at this tribe, it's like, okay, we need more uh we need more like strength and stuff for these big obstacles and stuff like that to
mhm.
have more of a well-rounded team. I think that's gonna be safer for him in the early game. But I do think if yellow team starts to dwindle in numbers, they might target him, or who knows? Like it could be a personality thing that takes him out, but I can see him do well. I don't
Mhm,
it will he be a main character? I'm not sure. I do think like I can see potential in this guy.
mhm.
That's why he's around 8. I think like he definitely has potential. I think there are some variables, but right now I'm getting a positive vibe from him.
Yeah, interesting, interesting. Okay, moving on. I'm picking another yellow person to be honest. So we're getting actually this yellow team is getting picked pretty quickly here.
Oh no, it's just like 44.
Yeah.
Right now, I
um,
only have one yellow person.
yeah, yeah. I'm the yellow team, which we'll see how that works out. Uh, yeah, I'm picking the nurse from the yellow tribe. I'm picking Sierra Wrights. I think especially out of if this tribe gets decimated, I think she is someone who I can see being one of the most likely ones to survive a decimation. at least
Mhm.
making it final two or final three of this tribe. I don't think she's gonna ever be taken out early. I think she's going to be a good personality of someone likable, good social player, but not like overly threatening social. Like she's not going to be, getting in everyone's faces with like how much they're socializing. I think she's going to be a lot more low key with it. As a nurse, she's going to be making sure she's going to be probably taking care of some people too, like checking in on them, making sure they're okay. And yeah, I see some pretty good signs for Sierra.
She does seem very sociable, down to earth, kinda, like, relatable.
Yeah.
Also, just like the nursing profession, a lot of stuff that they have to go through. It is not an easy job whatsoever. Um, I can see her do well. I do think I had her as 12, but part of the reason I did that is because I think I'm going in the mindset of, like, yellow team is not gonna do too well.
Mhm.
Um, I think Sierra could also be targeted because she is so well liked and might be considered a threat, or I can see her easily make alliances with people. I do think I had her at 12, like, I know, like, usually, like, jury and stuff is around here, but I have a few people above that. I don't think she's the one that just misses out on jury.
Mhm.
Um, I would rank her higher, but there are some people that I think might do a little better. But I do think she makes the jury phase.
Mhm.
I think one of the things that might happen early on in jury, at least, is that she might seem very well connected or seem like a big social threat,
Mhm.
or maybe even I might even say this, I think she might be the glue of the Yellow Tribe, and
Uh,
they might wanna target that glue to have it, fall apart. I know it's very bold to make that assumption, but I don't know,
yeah.
there's something about her where I feel like she's someone that can definitely bring this Yellow Tribe together.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. As I said, like I picked some of those other people from the Yellow Tribe, John and Annika, because I think that they're going to be entertaining, and I kind of want to pick them on my team. I think she's going to be a little less entertaining in terms of the television, but I think she's probably the better player of anyone on this tribe.
I agree. I agree. Alright, next up for me, let's go with this guy. This guy, also on the Blue Tribe. I like this dude. He is giving me some Hunter vibes, so maybe that's why he's around the same mark. I'm going with Kylo Oswald. He seems like a
Interesting.
very, you know, you know, Midwestern kind of like guy. I think like he's going to have a lot of like good social game. I don't think he's going to be as great as Hunter when it comes to the
Mhm.
challenges and stuff. But I feel like there could definitely be the association there. Also, I heard his nickname is Kyle Ren, and me being a big Kylo Ren guy, I'm like, I like this dude, so I felt like I had to choose him. He seems cool and down to earth
Yeah.
and friendly.
Yeah. I had him as my number 17. I actually
Really.
I don't know. I'm getting the feeling that he might be like a Jelensky of the season. Like I don't know. I don't think as bad as Jelensky, but I can see him doing some really dumb things, trying to play or do something crazy, thinking, "Wow, I'm about to like change this game," and it just blows up in his face. Um, I just get the feeling that he's going to make a really dumb move at some point that just takes him out of the game.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't get that vibe from him, but
Mhm.
when you said that, I'm like, if I thought about it, maybe. I think that's something where it could definitely happen. But no, I think he's down to earth. He's good with working with his hands. I think one thing that is to his benefit is because he's a construction worker, people that are good with their hands might be really good at camp life, and that's
Mhm.
something that might actually help him out in the long run. And I think that's another thing that kind of draws back to the hunter thing. But like because he's able to like have that, like make quality of camp life a little bit better, makes it less likely that they're gonna take him out early.
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, as long as this tribe wins, I think he can be good. But if they
Like I
Do
said, I think I could be slamming this or doing it, hammering this home too hard, but I think the blue tribe is going to do super well.
yeah.
I could be dooming them all.
Yeah,
Fuck.
I I mean, I love Sue, but I really could see like a swimming thing happening, and she takes a really long time, and they have to spend a lot of time trying to get Sue potentially there, and that could cost them a challenge or something. And maybe Sue's actually integrated so well that they don't want to target Sue for that, and they target someone else who's a strong player or strong competition beast. And now suddenly this tribe gets decimated. It happens. Like I think the purple tribe from last season. I forgot what they were called again. But on paper,
Yanu.
yeah. On paper, though, the Yanu tribe I felt like actually should have been really strong at the challenges, but like we saw it play out where it just did not work that way. And a lot of it is like they took out Jelensky first. The next challenge was like something that they needed someone with like long
The,
limbs.
the,
And so
the tallest dude.
them taking out Zelensky created that domino effect. So even though like on paper this tribe seems like it could be strong, it takes one bad challenge to create that domino effect. So you
No,
never know. You
well,
never know.
here's the thing. Jelensky was just bad for everyone's game, and so he had to go. Now, for that one
Yeah.
specific challenge where, yes, they needed height,
Yeah.
um, I think that worked, but I digress.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you have to say about Kyle? Or
No, I mean he looks like a likable guy. He actually reminds me of this one guy in the org community called Stony. Um and Stony always goes out super early. And I don't know why.
maybe that's the correlation.
Yeah, like they just seem like they're the same like archetype, same kind of vibe. And yeah, so who knows?
He was like the first one eliminated from the one you did on Reality Miniverse, right?
Yeah, Concordance. Yeah, he was the first
Yeah,
boots. And then he was on the 100 thing too, and he was taken out in like round two. So he doesn't really
well,
make it
shit.
far. Yeah.
All right. Well, we get three more people a pop. These are
Mhm.
people, I don't know. I still have someone at 10 and 11. I don't know. There's someone lower on the list. I might choose them. We'll see.
Okay.
It's your turn.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Okay, I don't want to pick another yellow person, so I'm gonna leave them. Um, so I'm going to move on next to back to the red tribe, and I'm picking Solomon or Sol Yi.
I think, yeah, he's number 13 on my list. I'm interested to see your perspective.
Yeah, I mean, I'm picking him kind of near the end here.
Yeah,
So it's definitely I don't have the highest hopes for him. I think I mean I can see him going out early. I can see him going out at the mid merge. I can see him going out at like 6 or 5. I don't fully see him as a final three person. But I think he can pretty much go anywhere else besides the end.
yeah. When I first saw Solomon, I'm like, this dude could have potential. I
Mhm.
think the thing is, and this could be just my experience in the org community, he comes off very alpha bro-y,
Yeah,
and sometimes that can be a detriment. I feel like I can see kind of like people form together. Like I think there's going to definitely be like I don't. It's tough to like name alliances right off the back, but I can definitely see a lot of I find him having the toughest in out of everyone. I can see
yeah,
him be kept around maybe for strength, but I can also see him be like an obvious outsider. I feel like
yeah,
I could be completely wrong. We don't
yeah,
know how these people are going to interact. I don't
yeah.
think there's anything inherently wrong with this guy either. It's just,
Mhm.
I just know from these games just by playing. Fuck, I was targeted early because they thought I was an alpha frat bro. This guy looks like an alpha frat bro, so they might be an easier target right off the back.
Yeah,
I don't think you get rid of him early because I think he'll be good for strength. I feel if red team does well in challenges, they may keep him around. But I feel like if it's like late pre-merge and stuff,
Mhm.
and they're looking like, all right, we're gonna do earn the merge and that kind of phase soon, they might cut him if they go to tribal council
Yeah.
around that spot.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. I don't think he's gonna. Yeah, there's definitely not a lot of people I see him bonding with. I don't see him broing out with Rome and Kashan. Like I just don't see them, being super into that vibe. Same with the women. I think he definitely could be that outsider. But yeah, it really just depends. Do they want to risk losing their kind of their strongest physical competition person early, or keep him around, just hoping that they don't have to go to tribal as much.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
All right. I'm a little conflicted
Hmm.
because I want this person could very well be the last person on your list. I don't know if I want to choose them yet because I'll be candid, low on my list.
Do it. Do it. Do it.
You are terrible for encouragement. You know, I don't know. I don't think you're gonna, you might actually, but just because I want to make sure she's on my team, I'm going with Caroline
Oh
Vidmar.
my god, you did it. You freaking did it.
Was she number 18 on your list?
She was. I was gonna make sure you get her.
All right, here's the thing. I think she mentions the players she wanted to be like Tori and and like Emily
Oh,
Flippin and stuff like that. And I think there is something there. She is not high on my list. I feel like
yeah,
she could definitely go home first on the Blue
yeah,
Tribe if they go.
yeah,
But I don't know. I've been wrong about look how wrong we were about Emily Flippin.
yeah,
Look how, but like the thing is, I'm like, I don't know. There's something about her is like, yeah, she's low on my list. I don't want to count her out. And I feel like she could be very entertaining in a good way, in a bad way. Only time will tell. But I don't know. There's something about her where I'm like, you know, I want to roll the dice with her.
well, you're rolling it, and I feel like you might get Snake Eyes. I feel like there's a good
I don't
chance
know.
you're rolling Snake Eyes. Yeah,
She's not high on my list, so calm
yeah,
down. But
yeah.
like,
I know. I'm doing this to build, add some. We need some tension and some drama. This has been like, oh yeah, that's a good pick. Oh yeah, I gotta bring the sauce. Um, yeah, I mean, to be fair, she's a lot of it really is just like preseason stuff with her. It's just she just wasn't shown for so long. I just imagine that if she did well, she would have wanted to have that social media presence that would have been easier to find. Because typically if you do well on this, like you want to build that fan base so that you can go off and do other things and do it.
no, that's
So
fair.
based off of that, I'm assuming she's a pre-merge. Yet again, Roxroy made it at least to the merge. So like it can happen. But like I just by kind of the nature, I'm just like, I know she's not gonna win. I'm just gonna put her at the end.
I think here's also the thing. But just by looking at her bio, she's also someone who is very outdoorsy. So I can see her also contribute to the tribe. That's part of the reason why she wasn't the lowest person on my list. She is the lowest of the blue people, I will say. But I feel like there's a lot she can contribute. There is some things where if you're saying that you want to play like she did say D is who she ultimately wants to play like. And like the thing is, Emily is not a bad person to want to model your game after because I think Emily definitely had to come into her own. She was humbled, but the fact that she's aware that Emily got there. Now, if it was just straight up Tori Meehan, which I like Tori Meehan, I think she's entertaining. But however, first episode I did have a little buyer's remorse. I'm like, uh-oh, I don't know how well she's actually going to do. But the fact that she did label D and she did say Emily, I think there is potential because, like, need I remind you, it's like we're not thinking like Emily right off the bat. We're talking like Emily who made it to Final Eight, the Emily that we did like. I know I'm defending this pick a lot, but I'm like also like there could be something there. And it's kind of like a reverse of what happened last, where you chose Emily Flippin, and you're like, yeah, this might be a stupid decision. I'm gonna do it this time, and I'm like,
Okay.
no, I'm gonna
Full
do
send
it.
it. You're full sending it.
I'm what?
Full sending it. That means you
Full
just
sending
yeah,
it.
you're just going like this is my decision. We're just gonna go and do it.
I mean, I was destined to end up with her anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
But like, I don't know. I didn't know if you were low key. Like, I don't know. She said Emily,
No,
but it, it wouldn't be a draft if you
yeah,
didn't agree with one thing I said.
yeah, yeah. Listen, I'll say the more we've done this, the less I've cared about honestly their preseason stuff because it usually ends up not mattering. It's because a lot of people will say like I want to play like this or this is how I'm modeling the game, and they don't play like that because that's just not how the games work. I think we know this from being in Oryx ourselves. Like, the games you can't say I want to play like this and then play like that and it works because you
No,
you don't know what you're gonna get preseason.
no, I didn't think I was going to end up playing a Bruce game or a Q game or a
Yeah,
coach game when I went into heroes versus villains.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, exactly.
that is
So
not what I was. I was trying to play like Yule, and that was just not in the cards.
yeah. Yeah. So honestly, like almost every season, I feel like I do less like caring about what they're actually saying and that stuff, and I'm kind of going more off of the vibe they're giving off because to me
That's
seems to be
fair.
more that seems to be more likely of what actually is going to matter in the game is how you're coming across to people.
That is fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there goes Caroline. I am going to go with someone who I think is going to probably go out pre-merge, but I think could potentially be fun, especially if he ends up getting like some idle shenanigans that he can get. I'm going with Kashan Patel.
All right.
Yeah. Someone who I could also see not fitting in as well on the tribe. Maybe some like early shenanigans or something kind of getting him. I think he's going to come off as seemingly pretty strategic. I mean, he's a doctor, an ER doctor. Um, so he's going to be perceived as pretty smart if he's saying that out there. And yeah, I can definitely see them if they go a couple times taking him out, but I also think he could be a lot of fun. Like if the longer he stays, I can also see him being a fun personality.
Yeah. He is number 17 on my list,
Mhm.
but I do think that he is someone where I can see him kind of go another any number of way. I think he keeps saying that he wants to be devious and stuff like that. Like you
Yeah,
can say you can try and want to be like some kind of model yourself out of there, but if you go into it thinking you're going to be devious, I don't think that shit plays well
no,
in the new era. So that's one of the things that put him lower and lower on the list.
yeah. I mean, it's the same with
Um,
like Sue. Sue wants to go in there and be villainous.
but I don't know. I feel like the thing is, it's like Sue can play up the whole like sweet innocent, mom or grandma kind of thing.
Um,
Whereas, you say you're a young doctor. Not only that, he's an ER doctor and he's not even 30.
yeah,
Like you have your shit together if you're at that point. I think he's someone where he is young, he is accomplished, that could put a target on his back. It's kind of like I don't want to make the comparison to Josh from 44, but I am seeing some of that where he could seem very well rounded.
mhm,
I could also see him kind of like go out around the same spot that Josh did as well.
yeah,
But it really depends. Josh wasn't trying to be like, too chaotic or just doing stuff. Yeah, he faked an idol that just didn't pan out for him, but you know, I don't blame him too much. I blame his craftsmanship for not being so great. but
Yeah.
I don't blame him going into New Tribe being on the bottom to want to do that. So yeah. Uh, I don't know. I think like if you're going in and you want to be devious and you're an ER doctor, you're a young, successful doctor, it could put a lot of eyes on you. So yeah.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, definitely. I mean, he's my second to last pick. So, yeah, I mean,
We both have him at 17. Oh wait, no.
no, no, no.
What did you
Yeah,
have him as?
I had him as 13.
Okay. No. Who's left in your what is it called? In your like order, I would say.
Like where
Oh,
they
I mean
are.
like what is your highest or what number on your list are they at
Yeah,
for your remaining people?
I have been skipping someone. But yeah, I have my highest is ninth. And then I have 14 and 15.
I have 11, oh, 10, 11, and 13. 12 is at a weird spot because it's like right where the hole is on my paper.
Hmm.
So that's why I'm keep missing that. So let me look. Because the two people I have at 10 and 11 are, I just need to like refresh myself. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna go with number 10 pick. Let me go up to their stuff. Doo-doo-doo. Sorry, it's taking forever, guys, but it keeps you in suspense. At least that's what I say to make myself feel less bad. Also, you get to hear me talk more, which if you follow this podcast, you actually do like. The org people, not so much. Um, but all right, who do you think it might be, Joe?
Who your next pick is?
Yes, because
Uh,
we have Gabe Ortiz, Andy Rada, and Rachel Lement.
well, based off of your theory, I'd say Gabe Ortiz because you don't like the Yellow Tribe. But then I think there's one person on the Yellow Tribe who I think is better than the other two. So
Yeah,
I
it
wonder I
it
wonder if we're
is it is on their thing. So I get a little skeptical when someone's dealing with AI, but I am choosing Andy Rueda.
yeah. That
I don't
was
know.
my
I
number
think
9.
he is someone where he's at number 10 for me, so not too far off.
Uh-huh.
He is someone where I think he's very well rounded, put together. I feel like he's going to be an asset. I think there's a lot of avenues he can go with this tribe to get to the end. And it's a
Mhm.
little bit like he would have been my number seventh pick if it wasn't for me just wanting to make sure that I got Carol. But I don't know why I was so nervous that you were going to choose her.
Yeah.
Anyway, but no, Andy is someone where I think like the thing is like he wants to model himself after like Omar, which I think is a pretty good person to like want to model your game after, where it's like
Yeah.
he's more of a strategic threat. I think this guy also has the potential of also getting of being good at challenges as well. I think while I know I said this with Sierra might be the glue, I think this guy is good for his tribe. Like overall,
Mhm.
I don't think like socially he'll be the one to glue it all together. I think to kind of complete it, kind of like in the similar vein as Sam, is going to help glue it together. I cannot honestly see Andy and Sam kind of bro out together, just like we both said. So I feel like yeah. Um, so I'm choosing Andy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a good pick. I mostly was just avoiding him because I already had a bunch of yellow people, so I was trying to kind of diversify like where I was going.
I need a few,
Yeah,
admittedly.
yeah, exactly. So that's why I was kind of, but I do have a good feeling that he's a likely person to make the jury, likely to make it to that far. I don't see him being one of the first 2 or 3 people targeted on this tribe. So even if they are that disaster tribe, which you're fearing, I think that he is likely to make it at least pretty good far if it's the decimation tribe. And yeah, no, I think that's a great pick.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I
All
think you
right,
made the
so
right pick. You made the right pick.
cool. Well, I was gonna get Caroline either way.
Yeah,
The thing is, if you choose my number 11, or do you choose my number 14? That's the big question.
yeah, yeah. This person's my number 14. And yeah, I'm diversifying again. I'm not picking the yellow person, so I'm picking Gabe Ortiz.
He was number 11 for me.
Mhm. Yeah, I think I mean, he's a radio show host, by the way, which is essentially being a podcaster.
Yeah,
So he's, I think he can definitely, get in with like John Lovett and Aisha. Like, I feel like they were all separated for that reason. I feel like there's a very mindful decision, maybe even to separate them. I mean, I know that there's the idea of a schoolyard pick, but it seems pretty like on purpose that those three are on different tribes. Um, but I think he's the least likely of the three to to win, to actually win the game. Um, I think he's gonna be that kind of guy. I think he's gonna have a lot of fun out there. Enjoy the survival elements a little bit, but I don't really see him like masterminding votes and controlling the game. I see him
I agree.
kind of getting taken out whenever other people who are playing the game want to take him out.
Yeah, I can see him. One of the things he described himself as blunt.
Yeah.
I can see that kind of like being a I had him at 11, so I think he does make. I can see him definitely make merge and stuff like that. Also, because he's on the blue tribe, I keep hammering it so much. I've just killed these. I've doomed all their games. Um, but I think he's someone where I also, and this is something that was mentioned on Specialist, but I don't think he is a big Survivor fan,
Yeah.
and that can go one of two ways. He either doesn't know what the heck is going on and he gets eliminated as a result, or he's someone where he doesn't understand the game as well, but that means he's not in this box of like, oh, this is how this, and this worked. I mean, hell, we just did a mini where the person that played saw a survivor here and there, never really done any warrant, and then did a phenomenal job and won the game. So I wouldn't count Gabe out, but I feel
Yeah.
like I'd say he's a big wild card of like what role is he going to have in this season.
Yeah. Definitely. Definitely. Yeah, we'll see. Not the highest of hopes for me, but uh my last pick. I mean, what more do you want me to say? I can't say everyone's a great player.
Yeah, you're not me.
Yeah.
All right, so that means that I get Rachel Ament, which I'm
Mhm.
not too mad about. She was number 14 on my list. The thing is, it's like I think she is someone who she is definitely very smart. She seems very aware of herself. I think she falls into a similar category, kind of like in the similar. I feel like, all right, it could be because I couldn't decide if it's going to be Annika or Rachel, but I think
Mhm.
it's going to be someone on the yellow chime where they're going to be seen as super, super smart and they're going to be taken out as a result. And it's going to be early on because we've seen it where, and I think this is also a common theme we have seen in modern Survivor
Uh-huh.
of people getting voted out. It's like the small girl archetype that gets targeted early, and it's not necessarily because oh they're weak or anything. It's just like they seem like a strategic threat, and they take them out automatically.
Yeah.
Um, and I feel like it could be either Annika or it could be Rachel.
Uh-huh.
I think
Yeah.
I have higher hopes for Rachel though. So
Yeah.
I'm not disappointed she's my. In fact, there's no one on my side that I have buyer's remorse for.
Yeah, it's not like some of our drafts. I think we've really looked at it and been like, Ryan, what did you do? I don't think you did this time. I don't think that that's happened this time. So
No,
good job.
like I wanted Caroline. I think
Yeah, yeah,
sweet Caroline.
yeah.
Bop bop
I
bop. Good times
Yeah,
coming.
yeah. You can make that maybe the last few picks were a little questionable, but like the last few picks are also mostly are people who probably aren't going to win the game. So like, you're not going to be like, oh man, my last person who I got, man, I didn't want them on my team or something. Like, it's whatever. It's because I think
No,
Rachel
I
is.
did.
Yeah, I know that you just said that you're okay with Rachel, but I personally think that there's no way she makes it to the jury. Um, I just see I can't imagine her surviving two tribal councils on this tribe. Um, I can see her almost being like the NECA of the tribe also. Like NECA actually kind of got in good with like Cody and Jesse and then gets turned on after, you know, some more kind of like talking and gameplay kind of going on. I can definitely see like she almost kind of gives me like the mom energy of the tribe, even though she's not even the oldest person on the tribe. John is
No.
the oldest one. Um, but I just feel like she's going to seem like the most composed in that aspect. But I actually think that that might like negatively impact her game. Like I think that the you know it's like that theory of just like if a bunch of people are crazy except one person, the crazy people are probably going to target the one person who's not crazy because they're not going to fit in as well. Um,
Yeah.
and I feel like that I just don't see her meshing as well long term with this tribe.
I don't know. I wouldn't say it's a thing of meshing. Tribe chemistry is so hard to read after just like bios and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There are some assumptions you can definitely make. Like I could definitely see like in 43 someone making the thing like, oh, I think Jesse and Cody are gonna get along super well. I think that was probably like a fair thing that you could have saw coming. I don't know. I feel I'm not completely sold on the idea that I think it is possible. Like I said, she is lower on my list.
Yeah. She's given to you
I
at the end, so
well, yeah, but like she was gonna be in seventh, eighth, or ninth place on
yeah.
my draft, regardless. But I wouldn't say that I'm counting her out. I'd say it doesn't look good because I think someone on that tribe is going to fulfill that role that I said, where they're going to be the person, the like small woman they're going to find as a strategic threat, and I think it's going to be her or Annika. But I think that she has more. I don't know. There's like some quirk to her that I can see where, that quirk can relate to personality that people might like. Not saying that Annika doesn't have that or anything, but when I see her more quirky, and that could be just me. Like I
Yeah.
like hanging out with more quirky people, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. I think her best chance is if she gets in with John. I think that's the best chance, and then hope that John also is integrated with the tribe and can save her. I think that's the only chance. I think if she doesn't do what I just said, I think there's just zero chance that she survives more than two tribals.
It's fair. It's
Yeah.
fair. All right. So here we are. My team is Genevieve, Sue, Teeny, Tiana, Sam, Kyle, Caroline, Andy, and Rachel.
Okay. And my team is Rome Cooney, John Lovett, Aisha Welch, TK Foster, Annika Dar, Sierra Wright, Solomon E, Kishan Patel, and Gabe Ortiz.
I'm still so pissed that you got Tara or TK. I'm like,
Yeah, I'm surprised that you had him as high as you did. Like, I mean,
no,
I guess not super surprised because, like as I said, I think he's the most locked person to make the jury out of everyone. Like on paper, like it
yeah,
would be super surprising him out of everyone not making the jury. But I don't know. I always feel like you don't always go for the kind of like sports people.
I mean, like I like Danny McRae. Like I
Yeah,
chose him.
I chose Danny. He was my
But
first
you
pick.
did.
Yeah.
Fuck.
What are you talking about?
I may
You just liked him so much after with like the challenge in the season that I think you just sort of like that's my guy.
probably that's how it happens.
Yeah.
But no, I wouldn't say that I go after this guy. I don't know. Like, listen, I kind of change up my strategy each and every time. Sometimes I'm like, okay, I think it's really just who ultimately I vibe with. is who I
Uh,
choose, except for 45, where I did like Mo. I thought Mo was pretty cool, but I was also basing it off of the Bryson one I went to, where I'm like, all right, who was there? And they both
mhm.
could have been there, both Kenzie and Mo. But I don't know, like I could have sworn just seeing one, but also that night there was a lot going on. But and I wasn't paying full attention to the 46 people. But yeah. Um anyway. Yeah, so that's it for this one. Like I said, I am happy with who I have on mine. I would have loved TK, but you can't TK and Rome, but you can't have them all. And
Yeah.
Joe obviously always winning these damn drafts.
I mean, I
Um,
don't know. I think you might have beat me in the draft. I think there's a good chance that you did better than me.
there could be a chance,
I,
but
you know what? I'm gonna say
it's
it.
so tough to tell. It's
70.
so tough.
I'm gonna say you have a 70% chance to win this.
I'd say it's more, you're being too generous. I'd say it's 50-50, and that is being
Uh,
optimistic for me. I think it's
yeah,
50-50.
yeah. We'll see. I think I got some fun people, but I think you might have got the winner in there somewhere. I don't know.
Bro, you were legit like, I'm just gonna choose people I think have no shot winning, and you ended up being right on the money with Jam Jam.
Yeah, which was ridiculous. It's just that was a wild moment. So I mean, I do think maybe, but I was also picking a lot of people that you wanted to pick. So like doesn't bode well.
We'll see. Screw
Uh,
you.
okay, well that does it for this episode of the Day After Podcast. We will see you all in the next one.
Peace.